there's any damage to the figure or anything like that, and look at the transformation. So let's pop open the box here, and that box has definitely seen better days. And we'll set the box back here out of our way, just because it's so pretty the way it's damaged. And what do we got here? So we've got the instruction manual. That's good. So that's in there. Try to open that up a little bit for everyone to take a look. Instruction manual. Is there anything else that we're missing? Where's our warranty card? We usually get a warranty card with this. Huh. Guess that's not present anymore. So we have the instruction manual there, and then we have him in his little plastic prison. So we're going to go ahead and see about freeing him from his jail here. So let's trim him out. I really wish they'd gone back to more not economical, but oh no, these are the plastics. The more rope style hold-ons instead of these plastic ones, as these kind of just end up damaging the environment or getting in your way. And then what are we really going to do with them? All right, so we should be able to free him from his prison now. Let's see. There we go. And we'll take out his ion cannon. And we'll set all this aside so we don't lose any little twisty thing. So what do we got here? So we have Optimus Prime in all his glory. Get him standing. So there he is in all his glory. He does have his ion cannon, so we'll plug that into his hand. With it being a new figure, obviously everything's nice and snug. So let's do that really quick. There we go. So he's nice and snug. We're going to go ahead and talk about, let's see, the unboxing experience in the box and everything. I would have given it a 4 if it wasn't so damaged, but I'd say that probably mostly still a 4. Let's talk about robot mode now. So here we have Optimus Prime in his robot mode. Let's spin him around. He looks pretty good for a Voyager class figure. He's got a lot of detail. There's a lot of intricate detail in the engine there, as well as the chest, plus the arms and everything. He's really well detailed. Let's bring over our good friend Totally Not Megatron here and see how they size comparison together. So Megatron definitely stands a little bit taller than him, so that's kind of a disappointment. But again, this is an earlier Voyager class for the Rise of the Beast. I can understand it there. And then let's take a look. Everything, the ion cannon looked pretty detailed. Overall, he looks pretty good. We'll give him a couple spins here on his table. So he looks fairly decent, fairly well designed. So I'd say probably, as far as his robot mode goes, I'd give it a 4 as well. Accessory-wise, he comes with his ion cannon. He doesn't come with much else. He doesn't come with his fist cannon that was shown in the movie or any type of bladed weapon. So I'm going to say, honestly, for accessories, we're going to give it a 3. Let's look at mobility now. So we're going to take his ion cannon out of his hand just for a second because we're going to transform him in a little bit. Well, there it goes. So let's look at head. So head is on a ball joint. It looks left and right and probably can do the full 360. It does have just a slight bit of up and down, but not very much. So now we'll look at the shoulders. So shoulder-wise, we have full 360-degree rotation at the shoulder. A little bit of a butterfly joint there, movement in the shoulder. Does not do full abduction. For abduction, we kind of do this below the shoulder. So we will reach a full 90 degrees of abduction at the shoulder. We do have bicep swivel as well as just above 90 degrees, so we're probably going to say about 135 at the elbow there. Again, it can go the full way around. And then at the hand, we don't have any motion, I don't believe, except for folding in, which is part of the transformation. So we don't have anything really there at the hand. So let's look at the waist. So we have upper torso swivel, which is part of the transformation. And then we also have slight rotation at the waist, not a ton of it. So now going down to the arms, let's take a look how much of a ballerina he is. He can kick up to just under 90 degrees of hip flexion. He can go back for maybe 45 degrees of hip extension. And let's test him for doing the splits. And he can almost do a full Jean-Claude Van Damme on the table. It's got that going for him. Let's see about a sumo squat here. Can he do a sumo squat? And he can do a side sumo squat. So we can get him in position that for moving around. Overall, articulation-wise, it's pretty good. He has these side skirts that do pop up to give him a little bit more motion. You can get him in some pretty good poses for articulation, so I'm going to say probably a 4 in articulation for him. Now let's talk about transformation, because it is a little bit more involved than you would think, but it's pretty simple. So what we're going to do first of all is we're going to come up here and we're going to tab that up in the back. Once we've tabbed that up in the back, we're going to go ahead and tuck his head down in. So his head will go ahead and kind of pivot down in. It is a tight fit, so don't worry about that. And then once he's kind of pivoted down in, you know, this part back here should pop up. There it comes. And then that's going to tab in at the top. So we'll end up looking like this. And then we can go ahead and close up the chest. So the photos have the chest kind of tilted out when he's in robot mode. You can pretty much do either way that you want with that. So now we have a completely headless Optimus Prime as he's tucked into his head, or into his chest. So then let's go ahead and go from here. So once we've got that kind of going, we're going to come down here and we're going to push on the inside of that foot. And what that's going to do is if you push on the inside of that foot, it's going to bring this part out and around. So if you have bigger fingers, it can be a little challenging. But you're going to keep pushing, pushing, pushing until you see that part come out and around. And then you're going to tuck your feet up into that shin. Right, so you should see something like that on the back. Let's do the same thing to the other side and bring that out and around. And you're already going to start seeing things starting to peg together. So there they're pegged together, right? And you'll see the trailer hitch there. So that's pretty much the legs done. You can clip them together. Now for the arms, what you're going to want to do for the arms is bend them at about 90 degrees. So they're bent at about 90 degrees. And then you're going to take this front portion here, or the back portion of the arm, it's going to pirouette out. So it clips out from back there, and that is going to go all the way around and clip into the front of the forearm here. Now mine is brand new, so it's going to be a little bit tight, but that's going to clip in there. We can do the same on the other side, so kind of pirouette it out, and then it's going to clip in there. So now we've got that, right? What we're going to do from now is we're going to take this forearm and we're going to guide it, close the arm in, and we're going to guide it back. Don't unclip that and don't pop out the head. It's going to tuck in back here, and at the same time that it's tucking in, you kind of want to tuck the arm. Oh wait, I forgot. You want to rotate the top around first. So let's do that first. So not at the waist here, rotate. You want to rotate up top so that his front end is actually facing the front end again. Almost forgot that. Told myself not to forget it, but I forgot it. So this is going to tuck back in, and at the same time, the fist is going to tuck back in, and then there's this little clip here. And that little clip is going to tuck up and under. So now that you got that clip tucked up and under, you can bring out the side panel of his door, and that will clip in right there at the front. So let's do this on the other side again. So you're going to bring that back like that, and you're going to bring the fist in and under. Make sure the fist is turned in, and that's going to clip up. And then that's going to go up to the front. Look at that. We've almost got them done. And then if you look here, there's these two clips, these two gray clips. They're going to clip in to the back of the legs here to hold him down. So you're going to bring him down until you're lined up with those two clips. And then everything's going to snap into place. And of course, mine's kind of apart because everything's brand new. So once you have those clips clipped in, and not pulling off the smokestacks, you've got most of it done. Then we're going to come up to the front here and we're going to rotate his wheels out. And then this whole part is just going to clip in under the front. So you're going to rotate this whole piece down and clip it so the wheels get under the front of it. The wheels get under the front of his truck. Thank you. And then they're going to kind of pop up and in. These little pegs here are going to come around, and if you look right there, there's little pegs for them to go into. So they're going to peg into that. And let's get this side pegged in. This wheel's side a little bit argumentative. So there. Make sure the back stays down. Mine likes to pop back up every time. Peg those legs together like I said. And then once you're done with that, back here is this trailer hitch. So it is hitch compatible. You're going to bring that over. And there he is in his robot, or his alternate mode, so the truck mode. And we can spin him around, take a look. Obviously, there's no hands hiding in the back of that trailer at all. I wish there was something to cover that up a little bit more. But overall, it looks pretty good. We've got the clear glass windows all the way around. No matrix of leadership with this figure. It goes all the way around. So overall, looks fairly decent in his truck mode. So for alt mode, I'm going to say he gets a good solid 3.75. And for transformation, he's pretty intuitive. I'm going to give him a 3.5, though, because other Optimuses are better. He has no bonus alt modes. And then we got to talk about his accessory storage. And so he's got his blaster. The only place you can really store his blaster is back here on the trailer hitch. You can put that in there, and that does store it out of the way. Kind of looks like he's shooting himself in the face, though, but that does store it back and out of the way for item storage. So accessory storage, I'm just going to give him an average of a 3. Let's check out mobility now. So let's slide this out of back and out of the way for a little bit. So he does roll fairly smoothly. Mine's got a slight left drift, so I might have to align the wheels a little bit. So his wheels are all pinned. So that makes them nice and spinny. And that will allow him to kind of roll nice and smooth on everything. So mobility-wise, in that alternate mode, I'm going to give him a solid 4, actually, because he moves pretty good. And then for fun mode, honestly, this is a simple but fun Optimus Prime. Again, this would be one that you could give to pretty much any of your siblings, your family, whatever. And he would be an easy transformation for all of them. So really, fun mode, because he transforms, because he rolls so well, I'm going to say he's a 3.75. I would say 4 if he had more play accessories like the Matrix of Leadership and stuff like that. But other than that, this has been the review of the Rise of the Beast, the Voyager class Optimus Prime. I hope you will like, follow, and subscribe me for more upcoming videos. We've got some Megatron videos coming up. We've got plenty of other ones. I've got Excellion coming up from a request from another viewer. So please like, follow, and subscribe, and I hope to see from you soon. Also, hey, down there is the like, follow, and subscribe. And not only that, but down there, you can leave me suggestions, just like one of the previous viewers did, and I might even review what you're looking for. So please go ahead and do that.